UK Minister for Faith and Communities Baroness Warsi has revealed that less than 1 in 4 people in Britain believe that Islam is compatible with life here in the UK. But in large cosmopolitan cities like London, how do such statistics fare? The results of the poll show that just 24% of British voters think the religion is compatible with being British. Professor Peter Newman of King's College London spoke to JN1 about the results.
Of course, a lot of the things that that have come to be major issues in the debate, like women not wearing just the veil, but the full face veil, the niqab, and walking around like that, not shaking hands, you know, certain traditions that seem to be very incompatible with the Western way of life, and that is a big issue that that society still needs to be worked out. Quite clearly, a lot of people do not think that to be compatible with the sort of way of life that people in this country live.
However, there are those who believe that the mainstream media has a considerable part to play in how British people respond to the question of compatibility and Islam.
The country has seen such a shake-up in terms of people coming into the country. And of course that causes conflicts, and with some communities it's easier than with others. For example, it may well be that particular aspects of Hindu life are incompatible with the British way of life. But that community has not made such big headlines over the past 10 years. It's not in the newspaper every day.
But there are those within the Muslim community who believe that Islam is compatible with life in the UK. Haroon Rashid Khan of the Muslim Council of Britain explains more.
We're very much part of the mainstream society. So I find that very difficult to believe that, whoever they may have surveyed have said this, whether it's a perception from their perspective in terms of where they live, possibly. But I don't think that's a general belief that is the case. And I don't see that with my friends, with the people that I'm with, not being part and parcel of this society. I have a value system which is based on my faith. And that is compatible with being a British citizen. It's not contradictory for me. As long as I'm free to practice my religion, which is one of the freedoms that we enjoy in this society, there's no reason to be at conflict. Being British and from this society, I'd really like to know what is being British and what is the dress code. So I'm wearing a tie and a shirt, which I see as being part of this society. So someone may choose to wear a bikini and someone may choose to wear a hijab. That's their choice, and I think that's the freedom and equality that we have in this society.
But what is the opinion of people living in London?
I think I'd probably agree with the poll, but I think that comes from probably the general populace's naivety and the press probably pushing extremists rather than the majority of the Muslim community that is not necessarily as extreme.
I understand that some people think that it's not part of maybe our culture, but England, it's pretty multicultural. I think people should accept it.
I'd say it depends whereabouts you live, because I think that some places are a lot more compatible and a lot more accepting than others.
As long as one person is very flexible and adjustable and broad-minded, why not?
And British lifestyle is very liberal, very independent. So Islam tells its followers not to follow liberal and independent views. This is what Islam says. So British is therefore not compatible with Islam.
It would be better if everybody could accept other religions and what they wear and how they behave as well. So yes, but they must, if they're Muslims living in this country, they must obey our rules as well of the country.
The report was commissioned by YouGov, a market research agency, and illustrates the sensitivity that still remains around the issue of integration in the UK. And so the debate continues on a topic where public opinion and perception is key. This is Celestina Ololode for JN1 in London.